Harmony here with Liberty Canine Dog Training. I love her. So this is Penny, who we're working with to get her calm down quite a bit and coexist peacefully with dogs and cats and just life in general. So we've done a couple days now of the basic leash pressure training of the place and the follow me. So she has a really good idea that whatever direction that I'm tugging that collar in, that's the direction that you go to. So whether it's towards me and I want you to follow me for the walk or the come, or it's towards the bed and I want you to go to place, she understands, go there, pressure off, pretty simple. So now that she has a really good understanding of that, since we've done it for a couple of days, now that we can do that is layer it on top of the sit and the down. So that when we're out and about and I need you nice and calm and relaxed in a park, I can do pressure downwards, make you lay down, have you chill. Or if I want to pull off to the side of the road or something and I need you to sit nicely, I can just do light pressure just like that and have her sit nicely. Now Penny has already had sit and down training with treats. And the majority of the dogs that I see, they do. And basically the first thing you do when you bring your dog home is take out a treat, teach your dog how to sit. So yeah, probably 1 out of 10 dogs don't know how to sit. 90% of the dogs that I see already know a basic sit for treats. The problem is they don't hold it for too long. So you may say sit, and then you sit, you give them the treat, and bam, they're right up off to do their own thing. Another problem with that is the distraction levels, which we saw that with Penny in the park, where I would try to get her to sit. I'd even have a treat literally right in front of her face, and because she's so adrenalized and so anxious to try and get at other dogs, cats and so on, not a chance in the world. I can keep trying to get her to sit and she's not going to do it. So positive reinforcement, definitely not going to work in these circumstances. I could literally wave a steak in front of her face right now. She would not have cared whatsoever. So that was a perfect example of the treat is right in front of her face and she could care less about it. So that was really nice. So the benefit of adding the leash pressure to that is then I have a tool when we're out and about that's not relying on the treats to be able to get her into one of those positions. Another really great benefit of it, where we're not relying on the treat, is she's not working for the treat. We don't have to rely on always having a full stock of treats in our pocket to try and get her to sit. I want her to work for me. I definitely need her focused on doing things because I said so, not because there's a treat waving in front of your face. So that's super important. And then for a lot of dogs, Penny included, as soon as you bring a treat out, they become excited. Well, when we're dealing with an excited, kind of crazy, squirmy dog to begin with, what we need these commands to mean is relax, calm, chill. We don't want her to say sit. She sits and then she's like, give me the treat, give me the treat, give me the treat, give me the treat, give me the treat. Because then she's just too elevated and too pumped up that she can't even focus. And that's going to do nothing to have her in the right state of mind when it comes to the big distractions out and about. So we definitely want her to understand that sits and downs mean sit and downs and be calm, be collected, chill. So you see all this kind of squirmy stuff that we'll clean up with all this. So Penny has a leash on her, and she's very mouthy, which will help to clean up a little bit throughout this. I'm going to have this small Hermspringer prong collar high up on her neck. We'll start with the sit, so we'll make sure that it has a good motion going upwards. So we'll make sure that the leash is attached high up so that we can pull her to the sky. Now, whatever direction that the leash is going in, that's the direction I want you to go in. So for the sit, pull up, As soon as she sits, that tension gets released. I'm going to say the word sit, put pressure on. The very second that butt goes down, release the pressure and give her light praise. Now, I want you to be careful about the light praise that you give. A lot of people overly praise their dogs to the point that it gets them more pumped up. Remember, we want to mark her for good behavior, but we don't want to make her even more nuttier than she already is and unfocused. So when you say, good girl, yes, you're a good girl, it's going to pump her up a little bit too much and may actually distract her from getting up. We'll actually use that amount of praise as a distraction later on. In these early stages of training, way too much. You just want to mark it by saying, good girl, and then that's it. Have it be done with it. So I'll say sit, light pressure up, release as soon as she's in it, light praise, and then we'll release her and do it a couple of different times. Now for me, a sit, super short durations as terms of I'm not needing you to hold it for more than a minute or two tops. We're literally talking about walking through the door, you're in your crate and waiting for you to get out, you're waiting for your food, we get to a curb and I stop, we wait for the traffic light to turn green, so you're just in a sit waiting patiently. But again, a minute or 2 minute absolute tops. If we need longer duration stuff like that, we're going to do a down or we're going to do a place because those can be super, super long durations. So we're just going to do some stuff here with Penny. I'll release her. Okay. Get her back to me. Sit. Pressure up. And release. Nope. Sit. Now, if she wants to go into down, I'm just going to help her up with the regular flat collar. Not a big deal. No. Sit. Good. Yes. Oh my goodness. So we're just going to work a little bit on this stuff right now. This is a great example because this is what a lot of dogs do. Now this is also a great example of wanting to use just the right amount of leash pressure. A little bit too much, she's going to be way panicked, freaked out with it, try and mouth it. And there's a difference between mouthiness because she's super confused and panicked by the amount of pressure and just being a little bit of a brat. So a little bit of this is brattiness, but we want to make sure that we still have just the right amount of pressure. A little bit too little, she's going to be completely ignoring it. It's not going to be enough. So just the right amount, and that's a balance that you need to find and read your dog with. Okay, free. Back over here. Sit. And release. Good girl. I'll go ahead and make her hold it for a little bit. Okay. Over here. Sit. Good. Okay. Sit. Good. She's looking for the cat, but right now I'm just worried about her being in position. We'll work on distractions later. Nope. Sit. Good. You saw as soon as she broke, light pressure up. As soon as she got back, released. And I marked that light pressure up when she broke with a quick no. Nice firm no. Okay. Sit. Good. Now, I'll go ahead and add in my own little distraction of her trying to hold it with me just walking around her. Again, she's super focused on the cat's house right now. The cat's not in there distracting her, but she's just super focused on where the actual cat is. So I'm just going to walk around her, add in a little bit of a distance towards the end of the leash, but not too much so I can still immediately mark the moment that she wants to get up. Good girl. Okay. Very good girl. Sit. Good. No. Sit. Good. So this is how you add duration to your commands, is the leash pressure is really obvious to them that the very moment that you got up, that leash pressure ended up getting reapplied, and then the very minute you get back into that sit, it goes away. No, sit. Good. Now, if she goes into a down, It's not a huge deal for me. I want to help her back up into it. Now we're going to get mouthy, so I'm just going to do some light pops to get her over this brattiness. If she goes into a DOWN, I won't say it, I'm not going to yank and crank her and correct her for, getting into that, because it is an obedience command. It's a relaxed, calmer obedience command. No. Sit. Good. So, I want her to understand that going into a DOWN is a great thing. So I'm just going to help her with that regular flat collar. The problem would have been too much pressure for her. If she's all the way into it down and I'm prying her up with it, it's going to be too much, especially for a younger dog like this one. And you saw there that little bit of browniness, her trying to mouth me and so on. A couple light pops to clean that up in that moment, and because she's already had some nice pops on the leash and so on, she really understands that means just, hey, calm yourself down, focus on me, chill. Okay. Yes. Sit. Good. Okay. Sit. Now, she's super focused on where the cat's house is. And I will focus on that, but not right now. Nope. She wants to scratch. Nope. Sit. So as long as she's in a command and her energy is calm, that's okay. You can look kind of elsewhere and so on. No, sit. Good. My main focus right now is her mental state of mind. Just having her nice and calm and chill. Okay. Good girl. Penny, sit. Good. And you can see her trying to figure out what's going to turn off the pressure right now. She's, oh, let me get at that leash. Let me get at that leash. That's kind of nagging at me. As soon as you sit, it goes away. So until she kind of has that light bulb moment, you're going to get a little mouthiness with some dogs, and that's okay. Okay. Good girl. Penny, sit. Now, that was a really nice one because as I said sit and I was about to apply pressure, she automatically sit on her own. If they beat that pressure, and literally it's a split second from the time you give the command to the time you pressure, if they beat it, you don't have to apply it. So that was excellent on her part, and it's showing you that she has a really good understanding of the word to begin with. And this is great because it makes an immediate sit. If you say sit with some pressure, they literally have a tiny split nanosecond to do it on their own, and most dogs can. And that's what you want commands to be. You don't want commands to be sit. Okay. You don't want them to be kind of lazy like that. You want them to say sit, just like that. So that's nice and spot on. So that was perfect. She beat that pressure, so I don't have to apply it at that moment. Okay. Good girl. Sit. Remember, just like the place, the key is as soon as I put you in to sit, you stay there until I give you the release word. Super important. So I'm not using the word stay or anything like that. It's assumed that I say sit, you sit, and you stay there until I tell you otherwise. Again, we're only going to require a minute or two out of dogs at first for the sit, because it really is just a temporary position. Not that comfortable for a lot of dogs, especially ones that maybe have arthritis or hip problems or anything like that. But definitely it's a lot more of a kind of antsier position where they're able to look around and do a whole bunch of stuff. Anything longer than like 2 minutes, we're definitely going to do downs. But for right now, we'll just have her hold it for about a minute. Okay, good job.